In ancient times, there was a 70-year-old father. His son was drafted into the army 20 years ago. No news from him since then. He struggled to survive alone. Food was wasted. Bed legs were bitten, heart broken. One day, while an old woman was cooking and shaking rice, she heard a squeaking sound in the rice jar. She saw it was a little mouse that had been trying to steal the rice and couldn't get out. I wanted to teach him a lesson, but seeing the pitiful little mouse, my heart softened. So I let him go. He also warned him not to bite anything in the future. Otherwise, I won't have the money to repair it. The little mouse actually nodded, indicating he understood. After that, my father's house was never bitten by mice again. The little mouse only ate the rice scattered near the rice jar. As time went by, the little mouse and my father became familiar with each other. It often hung around his feet and climbed on him. The old father would tell the little mouse his own stories, talk about his son's childhood. As he talked, he started crying because he missed his son. The little mouse would spin around to make him laugh. Life was no longer so difficult for the old father. When my father, a Buddhist, was chanting sutras, the little mouse was lying on the side, listening intently. My father was delighted to see this. He thought the little mouse had also become a Buddhist. 5 years later, the little mouse had grown to be as big as a weasel, longer than the lifespan of an ordinary mouse, yet still alive and kicking. I jokingly say, he's become a spirit. But my father's health is getting worse. He's rickety and has difficulty walking. He often sits at the door, waiting for his son. He kept having nightmares. He dreamed of his son dying in battle. He woke up in tears. He felt his time was running out. 6 months later, my depression became severe. The little mouse quietly waited by his bed. That night, the old woman had another nightmare and was crying. There was a knock on the door. He was surprised and delighted. When he opened the door, he saw the beastly man was actually his son. The old man hugged his son and cried. The son said he'd returned from the war to show his filial piety. Afterwards, the old woman's illness gradually healed. She was in good health. She lived a happy life. Her son was filial, but the little mouse had disappeared. I am very worried. Another 6 months later, the old man went to the market to buy rice and flour. He met a Taoist priest who said he had a demonic aura. There was a fear of an evil old woman in the house. He told the story of his son's return. The Taoist priest sighed after hearing this. He said the Red Gold Army had captured his son. He was already judged dead. The son who returned must be a demon. I don't believe it. The swordsman gave him a talisman to make his iron son's body real and fake. But I tore Fuju apart and returned home. After returning home, my husband's health deteriorated. He became confused and restless. 6 months later, he caught a cold and was bedridden. He was near death. His son watched over him day and night. Before she died, the old woman held her son's hand, expressing gratitude for his presence. The son wept and nodded, just like the little mouse he had done back then. That night, the old woman passed away. After weeping heartbroken, the son kowtowed 3 times before the old woman's grave.